All right, welcome back to another episode of the Kameo podcast. Released a fair few episodes already. Gearing up for 2019, got lots planned in the Kameo creative world, Kameo podcast world, podcast Canada world. But I've been trying to set up this interview for a little while, and when I saw her in the line up here grabbing coffee, I knew it was her because on her purse there was a what is that?
It's a mermaid cat riding a seahorse.
It's a mermaid cat riding a seahorse. So
Yeah.
I'm speaking with Amanda. I can't say her last name, but it starts with an
It's
E.
okay. When we went to Mexico, no one could say it either.
But she's a mermaid. She's a full-time mermaid. I have been familiar with the mermaid community, the mermaid niche.
How familiar are you?
I've been familiar for a couple years. I don't know how familiar it goes, right? I do
Okay.
know the internet rule 34, if you can dream it exists on the
That's right.
internet.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
it's really interesting that you're a full-time mermaid maker.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what we mean by mermaid, just look up mermaid cosplay on Instagram. What's a good hashtag for people to look up to?
Real mermaid.
Real mermaid.
Real mermaid? Yeah.
So basically,
That's a good
they
one.
create these like sequin dress-like silk garments that look like fins that can actually go in the water.
Okay,
and
now I'm
you
going to correct
swim.
you there. They're 100% rubber. They're
100%
silicone
rubber.
rubber.
Okay,
And they look very realistic.
then that's why I got mistaken.
Because you think they look like sequins, but they're actually rubber scales that are painted with glitter.
So, Amanda, how long have you been in this community, which honestly could not exist, in my opinion, without the help of the internet?
Yeah, exactly. I found it on the internet. This was only a year ago, and I wanted to buy a tail. I really wanted to buy one, and I had actually set up an account that would separate enough money a month that I could save up in about a year. I would have enough money because the one I
How much
wanted.
money do you need?
The one I wanted was $5,000.
$5,000?
Yeah, and
That's
but then,
more than the car I drive.
Yeah, no, I really wanted a $5,000 mermaid tail. But then my husband and my family and friends, every single one of them, when I told them what I wanted, they said, "Why don't you just make it? Because we know you can make things."
That's very
And-
supportive of them. Rather than
Yeah.
saying no, that's a
Well,
stupid
you
idea.
You can
Make
blame
it.
all of them for the monster they created because I'd made my own, and the fever just kind of took over, and that I made my own business.
So within 1 year, you created your own business.
Yeah, yeah.
So wow, wow, that's fast.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got like what, 20,000 followers on Instagram?
No, I only have 5,000.
5,000. Okay, so I'm mixing you up because I did some research,
Yeah.
as I always do. What is the lure of this mermaid fantasy?
Oh, well, people are crazy about it, and you wouldn't believe the requests I get online, like the crazy things people want me to do, like
And they're willing to pay,
they.
no problem.
Oh well, yeah, I have clients, of course, but no, I mean like people want me to just give them my tails, and I get serious requests of people just asking me to give them to them.
Well, I get
And-
serious requests for people wanting to be on my podcast. Like, no, read it. It's in Kamloops. You're not in Kamloops.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, and people will also throw money at really crazy stuff if they'll look like a real mermaid. So I think there's this. I think it's a dream of a lot of people as a child, men and women, not just little girls.
Men and women.
Yeah.
That's
And
because you wanted to put me in a tail or something.
No, I wanted to
initially.
bring you to the pool, and I wanted you to try out a monofin, which is just the big one flipper that you put both your feet in,
Oh,
and then you
okay.
do the dolphin kick. Mainly because
I hate swimming.
That's okay. I don't talk to the media about what I do, and I don't really like being interviewed.
I'm
but
sorry.
No, it's fine. I agreed to do this one because I really like your approach. It's so casual.
Well, I'm just a stoner with an audio
I
recorder.
know. That's why I wasn't as intimidated as I am if, I've done interviews with the news and with the paper, and I've just.
Who did you interview? Who interviewed you at the paper?
Well, I used to be a potter. I mean, I still am a potter. But
Okay.
I used to make really crazy mermaid pottery. Like I would, when I stopped doing it, I was actually gluing crystals onto them, like because I wanted it to look like crystals were growing on them. So I would apply all of this organic growth that was clay, but then afterwards I was gluing crystals on them, and then I was painting them with gold.
So how long have you been just sustaining or supporting yourself with your creative endeavors?
It's been on and off for 8 years. Some years aren't good. Some years are good.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much energy I have that year and how much support I need too.
Are you part of the Arts Council, the Kamloopsian Art Council?
I'm usually a member of the Art Gallery.
Okay.
But I have definitely worked for the Arts Council before, and I've been a member on and off for years. But yeah, I really love everyone that works there. The
Cool.
Arts Council is really supportive in our community.
Yeah.
They do a lot.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, I still can't wrap my head around the fantasy. Where did this allure come from? It's you have memories of watching The Little Mermaid as a kid.
Well, I think a lot of
what
people
imprinted
do.
on you?
A lot of people do. So for me, it was more about being in the water and being strong in the water. You put your feet in this monofin, and you can swim as fast. You feel like you're swimming as fast as a dolphin, even though you're not really, but you feel like you are.
So you feel limitless.
Yeah, you can. And being powerful in the water is something I think that really touches on a lot of people, because we're the saying, a fish out of water, when you're in an environment you don't belong in. Well, unless you've learned to swim really well, and you can do, I don't know what I'm saying.
I get it.
It's really hard to describe. It's kind of why I wanted, for an interview, I was kind of thinking it would be cool to bring you to the pool and be like, okay, get in the water, wear this monofin, and then tell me how it feels, because then we can talk about it.
That would have to be a video thing, and to be honest, I'd be more interested in making sure I go with my daughter when she goes to swimming lessons, because I never made it to one of those.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would love a fin.
How old is your daughter?
She is 9 months, I think. Mm-hmm. Around there.
That's cute.
Yeah, she's very, very adorable. You have kids?
No.
No.
But it's a good age for kids being adorable.
Yeah, and she loves the water, right?
I have a niece that's 9 months now.
Nice.
She's cute. Yeah. She's really
Make
cute.
her a little fin.
Well, I got my other. I have 3 nieces now, and I got one of them a little felt mermaid blankie tail.
Yeah.
That you just wear it on the couch or whatever. It's cute.
But I get what you say about feeling powerful in the water. I used to be a whitewater kayaker.
Oh yeah.
So it's the extreme opposite, where you have a controlled pool, where you're adding stuff to then propel yourself, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Whitewater kayaking is it's controlled chaos, because the river, though it's dynamic, it's static at the same time. It doesn't change, but it does.
Yeah.
And you gotta connect the pieces, and when you connect the pieces, that sense of power and fulfillment is huge, and it's only for 45 seconds a go, right? And then adrenaline rush. Do you have any fear of the water or drowning or anything?
I used to. I developed a really bad water anxiety when I was a teenager. I couldn't go into any open water. I could wade in up to my waist, but there was no way I was going swimming in it. I just couldn't do it.
Interesting.
When I made myself a tail, I thought, I should probably try swimming in a lake with this thing. And I went. What really helped was bringing my monofin to a lake and snorkeling around in my monofin. At first, I was pretty scared, but then we went to Pavilion Lake, which is crystal clear. It's really clear; you can see all the way to the bottom. And if you can see to the bottom, it's not so bad. Whereas darker lakes, where you can't see what's down there, that's freaky.
Is there any misinformation or understanding of the mermaid community out there from the outside in?
Yeah.
What do you think you can try and clear up? Because it's such an odd.
Yeah, some people think there's something weirdly sexual or erotic about it, and it's like any community. Yeah, there's those people that use it like that, but most of us are just here to go swimming and have fun.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Is it it does sexualize it, because it does. Mermaids are very feminine in their look.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you recently watched what Netflix? Is it Tidelanders?
I'm almost finished. I just have the last episode to watch, but
I fell asleep halfway through. But
I have a love-hate relationship with that show.
For those who don't know, it's
yeah.
it's a Australian broadcasting like Netflix show where basically the idea is there's siren / mermaid / half mermaid people who exist in this like weird cult community in Australia, and then fishermen smuggle drugs for them.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the best.
That's it. Yeah, and I just found like a lot of, I don't know, like I have really high standards for the media that I consume.
Yeah.
And if there's any tropey characters or stereotypes, I generally don't want to watch it.
So what are you watching? Like, is there any like? Because mermaids have always been like, you know, the hokey, like straight to VHS movies.
There's from what I've seen, and I'm not up to date on a lot of the really recent programs that are out, but from what I've seen, there's not very much really good mermaid content out there. It's pretty hokey. It's either for children or it's Disney.
Yeah, which is why like the YouTube community and Instagram have almost flourished, right? Because wherever there's a gap in the market, you know, we know the free market, which the internet hopefully is, will fill it. Which I love about digital media.
Yeah.
What's something about mermaids that when you do talk to the media or whatever, you wish you could chat about, but just never have the opportunity to chat?
Oh. I don't know. That's a hard question. Well, I was really wanting to belong to a tailmaker community for a while, and I found one Facebook group where there's other tailmakers posting their progress, and if they have issues, they'll ask. And some of them will post their latest creations in it, which was nice. I'm glad I found that.
How many tailmakers do you think there are in Canada? Do you know?
2.
There's 2.
There's 2.
Yourself and one other?
And another woman in Calgary that makes some nice tails.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I know of. There might be more. I'm sorry if you're out there.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I don't know where you are.
They're doing a bad job advertising themselves, so, you know, blame me.
After this podcast, you'll probably think of a few more. But yeah, I think there's 2 of us in Canada right now. I would not be surprised if more of them popped up in the Lower Mainland or in Ontario, in other bigger centers.
Yeah.
That's where we get our materials from. Like, I have to order from Ontario to get my supplies.
Okay.
Yeah, and but I know that there's one place in Vancouver you can order them from too. I could be wrong though, but I live in Kamloops, right? I don't go shopping in big cities in Canada very often.
No. We like staying here in Kamloops. Are you from Kamloops?
No, I was born in Lillooet.
Lillooet?
Yeah.
Okay, so not too far away.
No.
What brought you to Kamloops?
That's an interesting story.
Do you want to share it?
Yeah, it's kind of relevant to our time right now. When I was 11, my mother, my stepfather, and my brother and sister, we moved to Florida. So I've lived in Florida, which was really awesome because I want to go back there and I want to go to all the places that I never went to when I was a kid. Like, there's these natural clear springs all over Florida that come up from the ground, and mermaids go swimming there a lot. And they get some stunning photos, beautiful video footage. These springs are just perfectly clear and beautiful. And I never went to any of those when I lived there, and I want to go back.
Went to the Disneylands and the...
I went to Disneyland, I went to Universal Studios, Disney World actually. But yeah.
Right.
But we also...
Florida's basically Ontario's version of what Kamloops and Phoenix have this weird relationship of.
Yeah, there's a lot of small cities there, but there's also some mega cities and beautiful beaches. I loved the beaches there, really awesome.
So how'd you get from Florida to Kamloops?
I think we moved back to Lillooet. It's muddy because we moved quite a bit. We moved once in Florida to another town. When I was 15, I came back to visit my memory's not too clear on this, but I came back to spend Christmas with my dad here. And because I had turned 15, when I tried to go back to the States, I wasn't allowed to.
Oh,
Immigration and Customs stopped me and said, no, you can't come back. And
there's a good chance I won't be allowed to ever cross the border.
The only reason was because I was 15 and I didn't have a green card.
Oh, okay.
But even though I was living with my parents there and going to school, they said, no, you can't come back.
Interesting.
So thank goodness my dad was still in Vancouver. Like I was at the airport. I was going to get on a plane and fly.
Oh,
and
that's terrifying.
Yeah, and I was 15 years old, and thank God my dad was still in Vancouver, and thank God he had a cell phone. So the immigration called him and told him to come and get me. And that's how I ended up in Kamloops, because he lived here. Him and my stepmom graciously took me in for the next 10 years.
So, thank you, U.S. Border Patrol. We now have a
Thanks,
thriving
U.S. Customs and Immigration.
thriving mermaid economy set up right here in Kamloops, which, at $5,000 a tail, I don't know how long it takes you to make a tail. How long does it make?
My bigger ones are $3,000. I'm not quite charging $5,000 yet.
I think you should charge
more.
One
day I want to.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Supply dictates demand in certain industries.
It does. So.
Have you watched? Do you know the Hassan comedian? He's got like a Netflix show. It's called Patriot Act.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
No.
Watch the Supreme episode of Patriot Act, right? This idea of like hype, right, can build demand, right? And when you have control over your supply, and you're one of two or very few, and these women or men or gender neutral people want these tails, right? You can raise your prices a little bit. When they're flying off the shelves, they'll probably bump them up.
Oh, it's so I have clients, but obviously these things are thousands of dollars. There's only a certain percentage of the population that's going to be able to afford one. So,
are you selling them internationally or mostly just in Canada?
Internationally, yeah. I have two. I have one that went to Singapore, and I'm about to finish the next one going to Singapore.
So do you do it like by order, or you just keep on making as your creative instincts?
Right now, the tails are by order. I would like to make some pre-made ones that are just my own designs that I'm selling. I think that they would sell. I think that they would find the person that fit them, but they're made very specifically to fit the owner.
Oh, okay.
So I would have to pick kind of a generic size that would fit a lot of people. I think, like, I've never sold a tail that I just made it and then I put it up for sale and hoped it would fit whoever wanted to buy it.
Yeah, I wonder if there is a way to like do like a tail rental. Situation.
I could, like, if I had a bunch.
Yeah.
I could rent them out. They're really popular with people who do princess parties, like mermaids. A lot of professional mermaids are performers, and you can hire them for like kids' birthday parties. You can hire them for adult parties, and we can't really move around much, but we can swim in the pool or sit by the pool or entertain people if they want a photo.
It seems so frivolous to me, especially like when you're like an entrepreneur who's just like making ends meet and just like people hiring you to lay next to a pool. But hey, people have the money. Sure.
I don't do gigs. They're called gigs. I don't do those. I almost had one actually. I think it was last October, but it was in October or November. Someone asked me to come and do a gig, but I actually had business in Vancouver that day, so I couldn't do it. But
I would do a gig, but they would get this ugly man who has like skin issues.
You're not ugly.
Well, you haven't seen me with a fin yet, so. What's something about you that people don't generally know that you feel comfortable sharing?
I don't know.
You're a pretty open person, or how do you define yourself? Like, you're out there right now because, like, you got the purple hair.
I do weird things on the internet.
I do
That's
even weirder things, probably.
I don't know.
What are you watching on Netflix right now?
Well, I'm almost done Tidelands.
Yeah.
We talked about. I finished all of Sabrina.
That one was pretty good.
It was interesting. After analyzing the show, I believe that Sabrina is a high-functioning sociopath. And if you watch it, like, she's completely narcissistic and she's out for her own ends. It kind of makes sense.
Aren't we all high-functioning sociopaths? Like,
no.
I would put myself 100% in that bucket. You ask my wife, my doctor, they probably would too.
I don't know about that, but I don't know.
Is this real compassion and friendliness, or am I just using you because I'm one of those approachable medias, right?
I see what you mean.
So, now I'm going to make you question everything.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks for that.
Do you want to pause and eat, or do you want to? We can wrap this up. It's all good with me.
Good. No. I don't know. I can keep talking.
Yeah. Sabrina, I liked.
I liked it too. It was interesting.
I fell asleep. Actually, I tried to cancel Netflix a couple times. Because
Did you stay
I'm a
up
big
all night
YouTuber.
watching it?
No. I'm an old man, and I just start falling asleep on the couch.
Oh, okay.
I sleep on the couch a lot. There's someone who has a podcast named Robin Goodfellow. It's a Drunken Graveyard podcast here in town.
Okay.
And she said the Watership Down Netflix one's really good.
Oh, I didn't know that
And
was out.
they just put it out. And
okay.
So I'm curious about that one. And right now I'm
Curious about that one,
watching
too.
Sex Education on Netflix, which is actually, it's kind of like Netflix trying to do, what is the name of that British show of all the idiot stoner drug addicts? And then there was an American remake. And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Every 2 seasons they would flip the 3 main characters.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember what it is.
I almost finished. Thank you. I almost finished Blue Planet 2. I just have one more episode to watch there. Have you seen Blue Planet?
My wife doesn't like watching like the documentary
Oh,
stuff.
it's because of the penguins.
She loves penguins, but
the thing is, if you love them too much, you don't want to watch them in trouble. Like, it's heartbreaking.
No, she
That's
hates
my problem.
She hates documentaries.
Okay.
like I want to show her exit to the gift shop with Banksy, which is like,
Oh yeah.
that's like my blueprint for
I love
everything I
Banksy,
ever do.
yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that movie literally is my business plan.
Yeah. I love Banksy. You should get her to watch Blue Planet 2 because it's not like other documentaries. It is stunning. Absolutely
it
stunning.
doesn't matter. It's not for her. Like, she needs the storyline,
Okay.
right?
But that's the thing about Blue Planet is they're making little storylines of these animals. They film them for hours and they make shit up about them, but it's really beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Snoop Dogg when he like narrates.
David Attenborough sounds just like Snoop Dogg.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go.
Content's such a funny medium, like how much we want it and how much we consume it. Like the fact that like there's millions upon millions of people just staring at their phones looking at mermaids at this very second.
Yeah. I bet
is
they
mind-boggling. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this doesn't reach out to me. This doesn't connect. I need the next bit, or whatever it be. Who are some of the bigger influencers in your community that because we're gonna see the person go into mainstream at some point. The mainstream mermaid. Who do you think
Oh.
it's gonna be?
Oh, it's already Hannah Mermaid.
What's that?
It's already Hannah Fraser. Hannah Mermaid.
Hannah Mermaid.
Yeah.
So she's gone mainstream
I
almost.
believe so. If you've ever seen any like epic footage of a mermaid underwater, it's probably Hannah Mermaid.
Okay.
It could also be Cariel, Mermaid Cariel. Hannah Mermaid does a lot of water and wildlife ecosystem activism. She's actually, through her efforts with her team, filming animals underwater, interacting with her and with other people, she's able to. She has been able to change policies around the world with other countries on
wow.
protecting ecosystems and certain animals that are facing extinction.
Yeah.
It's amazing. She's amazing.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think of like the social influence of it, because there is a very large social, environmental.
Yeah, and
component.
mermaids are some of the most. This niche welcomes and embraces water activism and keeping our waterways safe, keeping our oceans safe.
Which is very relevant to Canada right now.
Very relevant to the world.
Yeah.
If you're a mermaid, you're most likely going to be an water activist pretty soon if you aren't already.
Yeah. Yeah, coming from whitewater kayaking, right? Like, a lot of dams, are going in on these big hydro things are damming these rivers that we've used. And,
Yeah.
we can see the pipeline protests, I got some really amazing audio of the protesters when Trudeau was here. Of these ladies, singing "Water is Life."
Oh, good.
It's very interesting.
Are you going to release that?
I've already released it.
Oh, did you?
But I can send you the clip or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. On your podcast?
Well, I just streamed it onto Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm experimenting with live streaming.
I've heard it's supposed to be the next big thing on Facebook is live videos.
Well, it already is live videos. You got to think of it like how much content you need to put out. Mm-hmm. Video is the only way to make pictures, audio, and video. So the 3 formats of real content, right? Until you get into like sex robots shit.
Yeah.
Right, and VR and that sort of stuff, right? So, but we're already there too. It just hasn't gone mainstream, right? But yeah, I'm experimenting with live video, and I've got like a mixer, and I could like, in theory, we could have showed up, and in the same amount of time it took me to set up this thing, I could have had a live stream going.
Yeah. With
good audio.
Yeah.
Through your phone on your page.
Yeah.
And I figured it out so I can like, in theory, go around to businesses in town and sell that. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to have a video podcast? All right, let's get up and go. There's really no stopping you. Just hand me your cell phone. I'm going to put my tripod and away we go. So I have it there, but I was going to like, the problem with me is I can collect content, make content faster than I can distribute it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But also how fast and how quickly I can create content isn't how fast and quickly Kamloops wants to also consume it. So I like to brand myself a spammer at certain times online, and then I'll do the complete opposite. Okay. Right? People, it's the memification. It's mimetic warfare, which we're seeing right now.
Mimetic warfare, I like that.
No, I stole that term from a NATO official document that I was reading.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They wrote about mimetic warfare and using it against ISIS and Daesh.
Okay, yeah.
It's real.
Cool.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah. That's a little bit weird.
I know, I don't see a lot of mermaid memes out there. It's mostly
But it's not. But the image of it.
I'm lying. Most of it is Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Lots of memes about that.
But the image, right, of you, let's say you sitting at a pool next to it in 10 different pools in the same post, in sense, is a meme. A meme is just viral thought.
Yeah.
Right? So any of those mermaid pages that you know are just run by some 15-year-old boy who thinks these girls are hot and he wants to like make a big account to sell.
There's lots of those out there.
Yeah. That in itself memes you, because you kind of release your content. As soon as you put it on Instagram, you're kind of like releasing it, and if it shows up elsewhere, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, in fact, once I post anything online, I know that it could end up anywhere.
But it's almost, since it's you and your image, no one can replicate it.
No.
Right?
No.
And that's why you see these like troll accounts with the same image, just stamped with a different filter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they can't make original content fast enough or authentic enough, right?
Yeah.
But they can still influence policy change because they have 200,000 accounts posting the same thing. You know what I mean?
Do. Yeah.
So that's the world I play in.
Yeah, nice.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. What challenges do you have with your business that?
Oh, I need to work faster.
Work faster?
My clients are probably screaming at me right now, "Where's my tail?"
So your problem is not that your demand is low, it's that your supply is low.
No, my problem is I can't work fast enough, and I'm going to hire someone to help me, but I don't know if I can do it now, but when I can, that's the next major business thing is hiring someone to help me.
Well, to challenge the idea of hiring, right? Like finding a wannabe mermaid who wants to work for you and slowly build their own tail as they learn.
I feel like I'm taking advantage of their free labor if I'm not paying
not
them.
At all. Like I hired this high school kid, and I was paying him $50 a 1-minute edit, and I got 6 edits out of him, and I'm like, dude, I can't hire anymore. and he was happy, and I'm seeing him go work on other rap things. So,
Yeah.
like, it's even just like the idea that you see the value in them,
Yeah.
right? A lot of these kids online don't want to work for money, and they actually are willing to work for exposure. It's that funny joke where, like, no artist wants to work for exposure, but
I just got
yeah.
triggered when you said that.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I get people asking me to give them tails for exposure.
No. See, that's the difference, though. That's the difference, though. Like if you find the right, 14 to 15-year-old high school kid here in town, right, who wants to come over after school.
Do they have good work ethic? Do you know?
It's just sourcing out the right person, because
I'm so picky. Like, I would
No.
be so incredibly picky.
Oh, you have to be picky, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
It's a long-term investment for you and them, right?
Yeah,
Because
it
like
is.
if your tail's worth $3,500 and you're gonna donate the time and the instruction, right? You value that at, like, my opinion, $7,000 is that apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Like, if these people want to be the third tail maker, which in my head sees dollar signs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which might not be the right motivation, but hey, I'm a business person, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would commit to coming over after high school from 3:30 to 5:30 every single day, and
Yeah.
bing bang boom, they get a tail, they get what they want, and they get taught how to build something, which I have no idea where to start.
So
And
you think I should trade labor for a tail? So come and work
Totally.
for me, but then you get a tail at the end of it.
Like, think of it, I would totally try and think of it as like an apprenticeship, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think the creative industry in Kamloops isn't celebrated enough, and there's so much money, and you're proving it, and I'm slightly proving it, and there's lots of people who are proving that there's a demand for it, but it's finding the right person who's willing to go, yeah, I want to be a mermaid. I can't afford a $5,000 tail,
But can I work it off?
but can I work it off?
Okay, yeah. That is totally possible, I think.
Yeah, you think?
I think.
It's just finding the right person, right?
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
I wasn't the right person on a couple projects with people,
Yeah.
right? And those fell through, and that sucks. But
Everyone's different.
Hey.
So, yeah, I had my brother working for me a couple of times, and he was amazing. He just had such a nice, fine attention to detail. So I was hiring someone, I'd probably ask him first. But if he's not available, then I don't want someone just like him, just with his same work ethic.
so are you
Anyways.
sewing it together, or is it glue?
No, it's glued with silicone glue. You just bond it all together.
So it literally becomes fused one piece in the
Yeah,
end?
yeah.
And so, like, it does bend gracefully and
Yes.
feel smooth.
It does,
and
yeah. Yeah, silicone. So it's made to imitate skin, so it's squishy. It's also really elastic. And when you put it on, it's supposed to feel kind of like a second skin. Like it's snug to your body. You got to make them so that they don't get water in them, or else they'll kind of like balloon around, or it'll create a lot of drag when you're swimming. So they're tight. They make you feel really majestic when you wear them.
So do you have to, like, is there like a time rent out, the TCC, that like all the mermaids go and swim?
Well, there's only two of us, but sometimes the two of us will go in our tails and swim at the TCC.
Is the second one public?
She has a public account, Mermaid. Oh no, she's the Awkward Mermaid on Instagram, but she's my bestie, the
Okay.
Awkward Mermaid.
And she's not the lady who wrote about the mermaid in the TCC pool, who wrote a book?
I've heard of her.
Yeah, I know her, actually.
Someone was
somehow.
telling me about her.
Yeah, she's got a book, and it's published or something.
I need to get that book.
It's online, at least.
Yeah.
You can get the ebook copy.
Yeah, I need to get that because it's about a mermaid at the TCC, which is where we swim.
It's
which is awesome.
Canvas This Week did an article, I believe, about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say back in 2015.
Okay.
I only know that because I think I was working there at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so my mermaid friend, her mermaid Nymeria, we swim at the TCC. Sometimes we go to the West Side pool. It's 1 degree warmer than the TCC, so we can last longer in the pool. That's my only complaint. Like, City of Kamloops, could you please raise the temperature of the TCC like 2 degrees? That would be amazing.
It is cold. Like,
It's cold,
I went there with
yeah.
my baby, and like,
Yeah.
I got cold in 5 minutes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm a 165-pound
Yeah.
man.
They
not
keep
a
it cold for competitions. And apparently to raise the temperature, it costs a lot of money because you got to turn the boilers up or whatever. But it costs a lot of money. I would still like it warmer. It'd be nice if it was warmer.
I'm sure less people would get sick, and more people would go to offset the cost.
Well, you go to the pool and the hot tubs are full all the time.
Yeah.
Like the hot tubs are always packed because people jump in the big pool, they get cold, and they go sit in the hot tub for 10 minutes or more.
Nick just walked in the door.
Oh,
hey, Nick.
He looks
Nick's
like my friend.
barista.
He looks like my friend Glenn, so I had to do a double take.
Nick is my barista, or one of my barista, because I'm a regular.
Oh, cool.
And wow, 35 minutes in, Amanda hasn't picked away at her food much.
I've eaten a few potatoes.
What are they? What did you get?
Oh, I got roasted potatoes with some sprouts, roasted veggies. They made a special vegan breakfast for me.
When did you go vegan?
15 years ago.
15 years?
Yeah.
Wow, you're like OG.
I've been on and off for a while, and you put chocolate in front of me, I will eat chocolate. I don't care what's in it. So I should say I've been a struggling vegan for 15 years.
Well, it sounds like most vegans are in that
it's hard.
world.
It was really, really hard when I first did it, and cheese was the worst thing to get rid of, but now I look at cheese and I just think snot. Like, it's disgusting.
Is your husband vegan?
No. He won't eat red meat anymore. He also doesn't eat chicken, but he'll eat seafood and cheese.
Seafood?
Yeah.
You're okay with him eating seafood?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell him. I try to tell him why he should go full vegan, but he just looks at me and says, cheese. Cheese man. And that's it.
There is some good cheeses out there. When you get some a nice 2-year-old aged cheddar, it pays off.
And I'm gonna say imitation cheese is really hard
plastic.
to find. No, the stuff that I get it's like tapioca with yeast flakes and.
Oh, I thought you were
still
attacking Black Diamond. I thought that was a jab at Black Diamond, which tastes like plastic.
I've never even tried it, but I've learned that there's only one brand that I like and everything else is crap. Except we have to talk about Blue Heron in Vancouver. Blue Heron Creamery makes vegan cashew cheese that tastes like goat cheese. It's soft and creamy and absolutely delicious.
Goat cheese is really good on salads and whatnot.
Yeah.
My wife's been using it.
There's a place in Vancouver making a vegan version and it's delicious. It's divine.
My big issue with goat cheese is it's $9 to buy a little thing. You use half of it on a salad, and then you don't use the rest, and then it just goes bad, and then you throw it out, and then you're like, oh, I just burned a $5 bill.
I know.
Great.
And it's the same with a lot of vegan dairy imitation products. A lot of them are really expensive, and you'll get a little itty bitty container of it, and then you'll eat half of it in one sitting or more, and it's usually $10 for it as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're 37 minutes in. We should probably eat your food.
Okay.
And so maybe we'll wrap it up. And
sure.
If you ever want to chat again, you know where to reach me.
Yeah, thanks, Nevin.
And so shout out, what is your website if people want to look you up and
my website, I should also shout out my bestie that made my website for me.
Well, who'd you use?
Organza Communications.
Organza Communications.
Yeah.
They're local here in Kamloops?
No, she lives in Vancouver, but she's my best friend, and she made my website. So if you go to it, you're going to see how beautiful it is. You should consider her to build you a website.
Yeah.
amatheatales.ca, amatheatales.ca. I had to think about that.
Did she just make sure is it secure? It's got HTTPS right now? Okay, good.
Yes, it's secure.
I've been finding a lot of people and really embarrassingly people who don't have it. It's like people who are running
you need that SSL certification.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so bad now. Certain properties I have I really don't care about the SSL because
I need mine to be secured because people are using PayPal on my site to pay for things. So
yeah, it
needs to be secure.
PayPal is a beast in itself.
I wish they wouldn't charge so much just to use their service.
3.5%.
I lose. So when you're getting payments that are thousands of dollars, you're losing 3.5% of that to PayPal just to have them on your website and have it to convenient. The convenience.
There's
of
a reason why it's called the PayPal Mafia.
Yeah.
And Peter Thiel is part of the PayPal Mafia. Elon Musk is part of the PayPal Mafia.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
So they made their millions when PayPal started, cashed out or whatever it be, right? And Peter Thiel, sided with Trump, right? You know, and billionaire with big data capabilities.
Yeah.
You know, you start understanding, right? The problem with PayPal is they can also just go like, we're not going to send you money. Like, there's some. I just started using PayPal because I just set up a Patreon.
Yeah. How is your Patreon doing?
It's doing what I wanted to do.
Good.
It's just bringing in like enough to more or less pay my hosting.
Yeah.
But though I've never cashed out or whatever it be, but it like that makes me happy because in theory it's like, okay, sweet, I'm break even outside of time and my equipment.
Yes.
Right. So
and
now,
when did you set it up?
I want to say like November, December.
Oh, me too.
Pretty early.
Yeah, I launched mine in December or November as well.
Yeah, I'm like like $12 American right now.
Yeah, US dollar.
Yeah, and then it goes to Canadian, and then it's like blah 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 blah, and then there's the currency, and then there's like, oh, when are you gonna push out for PayPal and blah 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 blah. You know.
Yeah.
Right now, I just want to see if I can build up like a little bit of like PayPal, like play money, just because like I do want to like commission a lot more artists internationally through PayPal because I'm sorry, I can't afford the rates all the time to buy local commissions.
Yeah.
It gets expensive. Like, you know, at 30, 40, 50 bucks a commission.
Yeah.
When I can do it for $7 from Argentina, it's tough, right?
Well, it just depends on want to support local or you love an artist that lives somewhere else. That's totally fine to support them too.
Totally. That it comes to the look too, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the hard part. You can't get certain looks when it comes to art.
Yeah.
The look is everything, right?
Yeah. You know, you find the artists you love and you support them.
Yeah. The online community is. Do you think the online community is like basically creating globalism in a way, or in a good way or a bad way?
Yeah, it totally is.
Like it's these weird micro neighborhoods of hashtags.
Yeah. Well, the internet is global. So I think you are acting globally, and you are global as soon as you're on the internet. So there's that.
How much of your income do you think is coming from outside of Canada, like at percentage-wise?
Oh, right now about 50%.
That's awesome.
I have a lot of Canadian clients.
Really?
Yeah, I have a lot of Canadian clients, but I also have American and Singapore clients. So it's Canada, America, and Singapore right now.
Does it like if someone like has a tear or something, they send it back to you? Do you have a repair service or anything?
Yes, that's only ever happened. Well, I have 3 mermaids in Vancouver who I have actually gone down to Vancouver and personally repaired their tail. Because the little fins, sometimes they'll tear. I should just say that they're delicate. Mm-hmm. They will tear all the time. So I went down to Vancouver and I fixed up their tails for them. But I just had one come back to me because it didn't fit. But that's the only time it's happened so far, which is good. I have got a good track record so far.
Who takes
only once it came back.
The hit if something doesn't fit?
With this situation, we're sharing it because we think we're both at fault.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we both messed it up, so we're both
very amicable.
We're both sharing the responsibility. So I paid shipping to bring it back, and she's going to pay shipping to accept it back when I ship it back to her.
So then you just cut it and make it smaller, bigger, or whatever.
Yeah, make it smaller. Yeah.
And then it's going to essentially, if I understand your process, it's going to look like you never cut it or changed it.
That is hopefully exactly what it will look like.
Awesome. Yeah. Really interesting.
Yeah, so I'll be cutting it down the seams and then just folding it over just to make it a little bit smaller and then gluing it back up, blending that in.
Do you do this all out of your home?
Yes. Yeah, I have a basement studio. I've also taken over the garage and the guest room upstairs.
I'm sure your husband loves that.
And, I was sewing in the living room last night because it just had better light and I can hang out with my husband and all my parrots and sew at the same time. So
hey, it's a lifestyle.
I've almost taken over the whole house. Pretty soon the office will be all mine as well.
Hey, tax write-off, right?
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's really, really cool. Huh. Love to see it one day. There's some vloggers in town you should like reach out to and do a home tour.
If I knew them, that would be okay. Yeah. I don't generally invite people over unless you're my $9 patron on Patreon. Then you can come over and have a studio tour.
Yeah. Ooh, you got a local Patreon supporter.
Oh yes, I do. Yes. Oh, her name's Naomi. Hi, Naomi. I actually just got a brand new patron. I'm going to shout out to Mermaid Titania for my newest patron that she joined yesterday.
And so where are these people finding you out of curiosity? Like, do you know where?
Oh, most of my patrons, so I have 11. Yay, me. And all of them are immediate friends and family. A few of them are friends from Vancouver.
Cool.
And I have one Mermaid Patreon, which is awesome.
Yeah. You only need 1,000 true fans on Patreon in theory, right? There's that classic blog article.
Yeah. I think I still need to tweak it a little bit because I did get, immediately I got immediate friends and family to sign up, but so far I only have one kind of person I've never met in person sign up.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering where the barriers are to kind of get more people that I've never met in person to sign up on my Patreon. So
yeah, you only need like a 5% conversion on 5,000 followers on Instagram, whatever it be.
But I don't push it really hard though. I haven't really shouted out I'm on Patreon on my Instagram yet.
It's an odd thing to do, right? It's because it's like, this is a passion of mine. I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
But if you want to throw some money at me, just to keep the fire going,
I will make bigger, better things if I had more income.
Right?
Basically, yeah.
It's such an odd thing because then you're also like, there's better places for this money to go too, right? So I struggle with the idea of it, but I don't know. It's nice to have. It's nice to see the support because my biggest Patreon supporter, someone I haven't met. Shout out Adam Mirion of Hexocorp, which that's a big cannabis company or whatever it be. I don't know if this is like a weird backdoor way to support me, but I had Terry Lake of Hexocorp on the podcast. And I don't really give a fuck, but hey, whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, we were wrapping up, and then we got back into it.
We did.
I'm not actually going anywhere to I'm here for another meeting anyway. So there's really no, in theory, reason to stop.
Yeah, it's true.
Unless you want to eat, which is
it does look really good.
Awesome. We'll
and
wrap
I am
it
hungry.
up. It's been 45 minutes.
Okay.
So go check out Mermaid Amanda's website, Instagram. Do you have a YouTube?
Yeah.
Are you big on YouTube?
I have 900 subscribers.
900 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Mermaid Amathea on YouTube, Mermaid Amathea on Instagram, and if you just Google Mermaid Amathea, you'll find me.
How do you spell Amathea?
Amathei.
Is that like a rap name?
No, Amathea is the name of an ancient Greek Nereid who rears or nurses fish, and it sounds like Amanda, so I chose that as my mermaid name.
Cool.
Pseudonyms are big in the mermaid world. Everyone has a pseudonym.
Pseudonyms are big in the internet.
Yeah.
Right? You can
I've had 5 in total since I joined the internet. 5.
You don't even want to know.
So many.
Don't even want to know. I legitimately bought cloutkid.com from GoDaddy for a meme joke with some friends. I spent $20 on a joke.
Yeah.
And now I have
a
goat, a kid, a goat, wearing bling and having a face tattoo because whatever.
Okay.
But anyways, we'll wrap up there because
awesome.
I suck. Please consider to subscribing if you are new, or leaving me an iTunes review. That helps out a lot. Thank you for tuning in to Kameo Podcast, where we have simple conversations in person with interesting people in Kamloops. I'm opening up to people in Kamloops because, yes, I do want to meet with people who do come through Kamloops. In fact, Foreigners band manager is expecting my email return, see if maybe I can get a phone interview before they come for their show here in Kamloops. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, call them.
Yeah. Anyways, have a great day. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.